Start the story, guys. I just want to say rest in peace to the state trooper that was killed on the expressway earlier today. He was identified as 35-year-old Gerald Mason. His mom was on the news. They don't know yet at this point if the gunshot wound was self-inflicted or if somebody else shot him. They're still investigating at the time that I'm making this video. That may be sorted out by the time that I drop this, man. But he was found on the Dan Ryan around 43rd Street. Earlier today, man. So rest in peace to Gerald Mason. His mom said he always dreamed of being a state trooper. She was interviewed on the news. Rest in peace, man. So anyways, get on to the main story now. For everybody saying that the downtown area of Chicago is safe and denying what I was saying in an earlier video about the downtown area now is as dangerous as any of the neighborhoods, there have been 23 people shot in the downtown area so far this year, more than in all of last year, okay? And yesterday we had a rolling gun battle in the downtown area, right in the Loop. So one Chicago media outlet saying that it's a scary statistic for people to work or live near the Loop. More people have been shot this year so far than in all of last year. And they said it's a scene that's happening more and more in Chicago. Police officers and crime scene tape taking over intersections in the Loop in the direct heart of downtown and adjacent areas. We're interviewing residents around there, and things are getting a little bit dicey around the downtown area, man. I'm not going to compare it to, like, a gang war zone, but there's shootings down there all the time, and yesterday we had a huge gun battle in the Loop. So the city's crime data shows that in the Loop area alone, there have been 23 people shot so far this year, and actually that number after yesterday's shooting, I believe, needs to be updated to 28. And in all of 2020, there were only 21 people shot in the Loop. So as defined for these purposes, the Loop is Chicago Community Area number 32, which is bounded by the main branch of the Chicago River on the north, Lake Michigan on the east, and the south branch of the river on the west, and extending south to Roosevelt Road to include part of the South Loop. So the most recent shooting before yesterday happened last Sunday after 8 a.m. on Wacker Drive near Michigan Avenue when a man was hit by gunfire several times by a known perpetrator while they both sat in a car. Paramedics took him to the hospital in critical condition. Community safety advocates said that more officers on the streets could help bring the numbers down. They said, we want more bike patrol, we want more foot patrol, we want more static support, and in front of these stores that are being constantly ripped off. Okay, so the robberies downtown is huge this year too. He said, we need to have a police officer on that block as a regular assignment, stationary assignment. Chicago police have not yet confirmed if they plan to increase patrols in the downtown area. So getting on to what happened yesterday, there were 5 people shot in a rolling gun battle in the 800 block of North Milwaukee on September 29, 2021 at approximately 4:54 p.m. 2 unknown vehicles were driving on the street when an occupant inside one of the vehicles began firing shots toward the second vehicle. There were 5 total gunshot wound victims, and there were no offenders in custody. Detectives are investigating. One was a male, 25, gunshot wound to the back and transported to the hospital in initially good condition. Another male, 27, took a gunshot wound to the arm, and he's in good condition. A male, 29, gunshot wound to the back, and he's in critical condition. A female, 30, was grazed in the leg, and she's in good condition. And a male, 48, he had a wound to the leg, and he's actually in good condition. So the injured included a bicyclist, a rideshare passenger, and a man who may have been inside one of the gunman's vehicles. An evidence technician told the dispatcher, he said, man, this scene is almost 2 miles long. At least one victim was shot near the 600 block of West Kinsey, close to the Blommer chocolate factory, where a woman was shot last week. Here's what we know so far, they said, about Wednesday's shootings based on the initial information. Okay, witnesses reported seeing the occupants of 2 or 3 SUVs shooting at each other as the cars drove through the West Loop area around 4:55 p.m. According to officers, the gun battle left shell casings littering streets from Jefferson and Lake to Des Plaines and Kinsey, as far north as Milwaukee and Chicago. One witness said it was wild, 2 cars shooting at each other, fully automatic. They continued south down Des Plaines, lots of people walking home. One girl was injured in the dog park, not shot but hurt, diving to the ground. Other witnesses also reported hearing automatic gunfire. Said auto, at least 50 rounds. They said they called 911. According to preliminary information, police found 3 men and a woman shot in the 600 block of West Kinsey. None of them appear to be the intended targets of the gunmen. So CPD surveillance camera operators said 3 vehicles were involved. Police found a 5th shooting victim in an alley in the 1000 block of West Monroe around 5:10 p.m. He was with a Nissan Murano that resembled an SUV that the camera operator said was involved in the shooting. Its back window was shot out. As of 8 p.m., Chicago police officers had not released any official details about what happened, not including the man who may have been in one of the SUVs. The fire department said it transported 4 victims from the West Loop shootings, 2 from near Grand in Milwaukee and 2 from near Milwaukee and Hubbard. According to CFD, Two male victims were in critical condition while the other man and the woman were in good condition. So early Tuesday, September 21st, a 27-year-old woman was shot while sitting in a parked car outside of that Blommer chocolate factory at 600 West Kinsey. The woman said someone fired shots at her car from a dark-colored vehicle, and one round struck her in the left thigh. Investigators found shell casings on Kinsey and a nearby sidewalk. So yeah, downtown area is turned up, man. For everybody working down there, for everybody going down there to be a tourist. And there's been a lot of shootings down there, man. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of robberies. That's a big one. Carjackings and everything. Downtown is hot. It is not sweet anymore, officially. I'm letting everybody know. You know, when people out, you know, say we go downtown, you know, we go downtown to chill or whatever. You know, every place in Chicago is dangerous except downtown. False. Get it downtown too. In crossfire from these guys, you know, is what happens. All right, now we got a really crazy situation down on 79th that I just want to cover real quick. It took place earlier today. This was a long standoff with SWAT. So there was an 11-year-old girl and a woman that were found stabbed outside of an apartment building where a man was barricaded inside and held off police for hours before setting a fire and jumping from a third-floor window in the Avalon Park neighborhood on the far south side down on 79th. This is not that far over east, but I consider this the east side. Police found the girl and the 31-year-old woman about 2:25 p.m. Thursday over about 2 miles east of State on 79th. The 11-year-old girl was stabbed in the leg, and the woman was stabbed in the arm and the leg. Both were taken to the hospital in good condition. Leg and arm stab wounds, again, you got to go to the hospital immediately and try and tourniquet that, because if the stab wound cuts one of those veins or arteries in there, you can easily bleed out from that really quick. Just because it's the arm or the leg doesn't mean it's okay. It could be life-threatening, you know what I'm saying? So the man, 38 years old, held off police until early Friday when he started a fire in the apartment and jumped out a window. So 7 people were displaced by the fire, but there were no reported injuries. The man was taken into custody and was transported to the hospital. So police said the incident was domestic related. I'm hoping the public provides information to help get whoever did this, man, because this is really, like, disgusting. A disabled man had gone to a church. This was 2 weeks ago in the Pilsen neighborhood on the southwest side, which is like it's like a mixed Hispanic and white neighborhood. Like, he ate at the soup kitchen, and then as he was leaving the soup kitchen, somebody beat him to death in the alley behind the church where the soup kitchen was at. His name was Juan. The family said that he was leaving St. Pius V Church when he was attacked. He said they were arguing inside, and then I guess from there it escalated. The 67-year-old had just grabbed lunch at the soup kitchen in the 1900 block of South Ashland. There was an altercation in the alley. There was arguing. The guy brought out the metal bar and hit him right there. The Chicago police said a man walked up to Rios and beat him to death with his bike lock. The investigator said the offender rode off on a white bicycle. The victim's sister, who lives in New Mexico, was distraught over the loss. She said nobody has the right to take anybody else's life. She said her brother was disabled and had a difficult time walking around, much less fighting back. Violent crime had risen over the last year in the police district that covers Pilsen and much of the near west side. Murders rose over 65% last year, from 17 to 28. Reports of theft and sexual assault had also shown double-digit increases over the same period last year. Aggravated batteries and burglaries, however, had shown modest decreases. Nobody is currently in custody. If you have information, please call Chicago Police. Tips can be submitted anonymously to detectives at cpdtip.com. So please, guys, whoever beat some dude after walking out of a soup kitchen, a disabled guy who couldn't even fight back, come on, man, please turn this guy in.